Alright, so this is going to be my video on the Proving Grounds match that took place recently at Coleman's Creek in North Carolina. As you can see, I ended up doing pretty well, so before I get too carried away, we'll go ahead and jump to the match footage and then come back and talk about all the gear.
So, welcome to the Lost Dog. That's what we're shooting today. So, there are no walkthroughs. Shooting this blind, okay? It's kind of low round count. So, starting position, standing with hand on the orange stick. We can walk to the orange stick. It'll be quick.
Orange stick. Oh, we're running up a hill.
Alright. Rifle, empty slung, pistol, empty, holstered. So you're running this Colt, okay? So at the buzzer, the shooter will decide on their path. Left is the rifle position. So you are going to right is rifle. So you're going to proceed up or down the path, rifle, pistol, until you reach the markers or an RO. Then move through to the shooting position. For the left side, engage the 5 rifle targets left to right with 1 hit each twice. Elites here? No, brilliant.
Perfect.
Twice. Unload, show clear, and proceed back the way you came to the other path. You want to tell me about the orange?
Okay.
So, continue the path until you reach the RO to the next position. So for the right side, the pistol side, once you cross the white line, you can make your pistol ready and engage the right static steel targets with 1 hit on each from the left to the middle of the right. Proceed to the box. From inside the shooter's box, engage 10 falling steel with 1 hit each. Unload, go clear. Sprint back up to the stop plate to engage with 1 hit to stop the clock. Shooter, are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
Cross the line, first array in the woods to your right. So clear. Go.
As soon as you get past me, you can load. You hit the tree. Hit! Unload, show clear. That's it, go.
$173.98. The fastest so so far.
Awesome.
Okay guys, welcome to stage one. I am Dan Johnson. Many of you guys have met me before, have experienced me. This is John Boyette of Air Holsters. Y'all thank him and his company for sponsoring Proving Grounds today, but John took his time out to come RO a stage with us, which is pretty awesome. So these are enthusiasts and everybody. They're good company to work with. All right, so we're gonna start over here. You guys don't have to keep on all your gear because it will be staged down here. You gotta put it on the clock, but let's come on down here to the start of this. All right, so start position. All of your rifle and pistol are going to be empty. So no mag in, no nothing like that. Your gear is all going to be staged on the table. So if you got a two-piece belt, that's going to be on the table. If you got, chest rig, plate carrier, all that stuff is going to be up here. If you have you're running a normal belt, okay, yeah, so you can just pop your pistol off and leave it in. That's fine. But if you got a two-piece belt, it needs to go in there. You start sitting on the log. Your hands are going to be zip tied together. We have a t-shirt to go over your face. So a little bit of bondage to start the morning for you. We got John certified in the rope tying or whatever. So we got the zip ties here. So add the buzzer, break the zip tie, pull the t-shirt off your face, put on your gear, and then you're going to head towards the shoot house. When you get to this door, please go ahead and draw and load your pistol, and then you will engage those 4 card poppers, 1 hit each, left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Outside the door, outside the door. I mean, you can do like this. You can be back here if you want to. I'm not too worried about it. Just make sure your pistol's pointed in the safe direction both times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You move up here to this window. Same ones. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Same order, left to right?
Yes, left to right, same order. All right, over here to the left side, you got 4 steel. Left to right at the time. And then your final pistol position, same deal. Left to right 4 times. Over here, you will unload, show clear. I'll be up there on the catwalk. You'll hear me. I'll be calling hits, yelling clear, all that until you show unload, show clear, all that fun stuff. So just listen for my instructions. And you're gonna come up here up the ladder. All right. Everybody knows when you're up here, there are 5 paper targets down here. There are 5 steel targets out at distance. When you're coming up the ladder, I'm gonna ask which one you wanna go first. So it's gonna be on last or whatever. All right. But there are 5 steel. You're gonna do left to right twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then paper, any order you want, it doesn't really matter. But you gotta hit 2 hits on paper.
Wait, if I'm seeing correctly, you're talking about the 2 down, far down there, right?
So you see the 2 over there to the left?
Yeah.
And then there's 2 over there, and then there's 1 over here. So there's 5 targets, 5 steel.
For some reason, I thought the road was going that way. But
This is pistol or rifle?
Oh, never mind. Right.
Rifle, this is all rifle.
Up top's right.
Yeah, up top's rifle.
Here's rifle. Okay, and then up top's right.
You said, Bill, you're gonna ask what targets we're gonna hit targets.
Yeah, and that's mostly just so I can, yeah, so I don't want to be like looking at the first one and you're engaging all the paper, and I don't also want to be looking at the paper and you're engaging the steel. So I'm just going to ask you, and you let me know. Once you get done, I'm going to have you unload and show clear, and you're going to go on back to that stop area and engage the stop plate to stop the timer. Does everybody understand?
So,
Shooter, are you ready? Yep. Stand by.
Can I leave that mag? It fell
Pick it
out.
up.
Huh?
Gotta pick it up.
Where'd it go?
Make sure you guys go in the same direction. Great job. Blue barrel. Great job.
All right, I got 1 round left for pistol.
I hope you get it. Take time on that shot. Paper or steel first?
Paper.
All right.
Rifle first.
All right, left or right twice, please. Head. 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 Do it again. Head. 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 Hit. Unload. Show me clear. Great job. Good luck.
Come on. Oh man. This stage is a cluster.
Range is clear. Go ahead and holster. 215 seconds.
All right, stage 2 is country roads. Your rifle will be unloaded, bolt forward. Your pistol will be emptied and holstered. Shooter will be standing with heels touching the cone. It'll be inside my box. You don't have to touch the cone. It'll be inside my box. You must retain magazine. There's a 5-second penalty for using magazine somewhere in the range. No elites here, correct? All right. So at the buzzer, move to barrel position 1. Y'all can step on there if y'all need to. Move to barrel position 1. You will engage 3 steel. 1, 2, 3. Move to barrel 2. 1, 2, 3.
Rifle or pistol?
This is rifle.
This is rifle first.
Barrel 1, 1, 2, 3. Barrel 2, 1, 2, 3. Barrel 3, 1, 2, 3. You will unload and show clear. Everybody got it? Retain your mags. One thing that I do have a safety rule up here. I am not a dick about the 180. You are going from right to left. Do your best to keep that rifle muzzle that way. There are going to be people standing here. It's not hard to turn to go to that barrel and come this way. I'm not a dick about it, and you got to be blatantly doing it. If you attempt to keep it that way, I'm good. Everybody got it? All right. So, after the barrel, we were going to go that way. Let's walk down here. Anybody? No. All right. Intermediate. Okay. So, get to do your fun little run. Run up here. Come around into the post. Position 1. You're going to shoot these first 2 steel targets. The white.
The 2 closest.
2 closest steel.
Okay.
Gun hot. Down range.
Just one shot on each?
One shot on each.
Okay.
Do not shoot the ones on the back burner. Second position. Plate rack. Shoot them till they fall. Gun hot steel. Down range. Position 3. You got these 10 white steel targets. So you got the 3 little guys, 2 on the T-post, 2 squares, these 3 in the front. They don't fall. But 1 hit on each one.
None of them fall?
None of these are all static.
Yep.
Only thing falls is plate rack.
Does it matter what order?
Nope.
Okay.
Reload as you need to. When you're done with these, mag out, put it wherever, rack the slide, pull the trigger, put it in the holster before you take off. And then run back down through here. Don't cut through the in here and
Run
trip
back
over
through the
shit.
front.
Yeah, run back through the front. All right, everybody move my blue starting box. There is a red plate out about 15 yards out in front of you. That's your stop plate.
Okay.
Shooter, do you understand the course of fire?
Yep.
Stand by.
Oh, come on.
Hit! 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 I know so clear. Take off.
There's 2 white targets there.
Hit! Hit!
Plate rack. There you go. Again.
Here.
Hit. Hit. Mag out, rec slide, holster. There you go, boss. Take off. Nice shoot. Thank you.
Holster 18391.
Alright, cool. Let's do a little briefing. Alright, so starting position is going to be down at the barrel. Both hands on the barrel for me. At the buzzer, you will sprint to the rifle position 1, to tank trap. From anywhere on the tank trap, engage 5 rifle steel from left to right, 1 hit each. They're all white, but you'll see square, square, lipstick, silhouette, and deer. No, not the far bar one. So 1 hit each, left to right. 1 hit each. 1 hit each. Now if you hit the first one and the third one, you're gonna have to reset to the second and go back through. It's left to right every time. So square, square, hit forward 1, back, and then all the way to the right. Nailed it. Okay. So
That's 3. You gotta go shoot 2 again. And 3 again. No sprinting. Oh, we'll get to that.
Each miss results in a run around the barrel and back. Elites, no elites there, right? Nope. Max of 2 runs per position. If a run occurs, rifle must be safely secured pointing downrange at each position. Please just put it on the ground pointing downrange, because I've had one fall over already today.
So you run right when you miss,
Yeah, you miss, put the rifle safe on the ground, and run around that barrel and back.
come back, and then continue shooting.
There's only 2 misses, or 2 runs per position.
Yep.
2,
So we're done
4,
with
6,
the
8. Got it.
We'll move to position 2 with the barricade. All the tables are 2 runs of each one. Doesn't matter which spot you go in here. Nope, anywhere on here. Anywhere on right. Yep. Okay. All right, and move over to the wobble. This is do not result in a run from position 3. But you have to stand and crouch. Just have both feet on the board and use the actual phrasing thing. Okay.
However you want to do.
Oh, not bad. Cool. All right, once you're done here, you're going to unload, show clear. You can place your rifle up on the table. You can either put your mag back in a pouch or put it on the table.
So there's a maximum of 4 runs, potentially?
Maximum of 6 runs potentially. For each station. Right?
You guys are not using
No runs from here.
right here, so you're not going to run off the wobble board.
Oh, no, if you miss the wobble board, yeah, I feel like that's going to fall off.
Right, so you're going to open the show clear, and then you're going to run over to the pistol. You're going to hit all 4 poppers left and right from the tires, 1 hit each. And then move over again. Yep. Okay. There's all 4 poppers plus the actual stick. And here's going to be your
Just top or bottom, doesn't matter.
you just have to spin on it.
You gotta make it spin.
Hit! 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 Next spot. Hit! Hit! Hit!
Must be a big one.
Hit! Last one on the right. Hit! Don't forget to pick up your mag. Hit! 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 I'm going to show clear for me. Clear!
Oh, come on.
There you go. Good. All right, I'm gonna show clear. Clear. 148. Good shooting, man.
Thank you.
Any elites?
Nope.
Man, you're elite. Anyway. All right. So everybody's gonna start in the start box. You saw everybody in front of you doing.
Okay.
On the start signal, you're gonna run to the wood. From the wood, you're going to engage the 6 rifle targets left to right. It goes far left is a humanoid target, to the right is another humanoid target, then you'll come down and right to the diamond, and then up and right to the diamond, and then down for a diamond, and the last one is humanoid. So you're going to go left to right 1 time. Once you've done that, you're going to move from the wood to the tire. When you're moving in between these positions, rifle must be pointing downrange. None of this sweeping your feet crap. Pointing downrange. From the tire, same thing, left to right one time. Then you'll pick one of these rocks, doesn't matter which one. Any one of the rocks is cool. Same thing, left to right one time. Once you've completed that from the rock, you're going to remove your magazine, rack your round out, all go clear. From here, you'll take off. Down to the left of the pistol targets, you'll see 2 orange flags. Everybody seeing them from here? Cool. Yep. At those orange flags is another square box. You'll step into the box, you'll load your pistol, you'll shoot the 4 pistol targets left to right twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start back over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hot holster your pistol. Take off down to the second set. Again, there's orange flags marking your box. You'll step into the box. You'll engage the targets again, left to right twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. After the second set of pistol targets, you'll remove your magazine, rack your round, holster an empty pistol, and then go to your right. To the right, around the corner, you can't see it from here, but there is a white 5-gallon bucket that has these flags. Grab one flag, bring it all the way up to me. You'll be behind this rock. Dump your flag, load your pistol, hit the stop plate to end your misery, all right? Stand by. Target, go back T4.
T4.
Now T5.
Wow, what in the world? Target 5, right?
T5. Go clear. Clear, go.
Oh, come on.
You got it. Come on. Put that in there. Get that pistol out. Give me a good shot. Attaboy. Unload so clear. Slide trigger holster.
All right, what stage 5 is that a corgi? Your start position. Heels touching orange, pistol empty and holstered, rifle is slung, bolt forward, magazine inserted.
Magazine in?
Magazine inserted.
Okay.
Oh.
Give that.
Get it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Take it out.
Anyway. Much like the rest of the match, you must retain your magazine and gear on this stage. You are limited to one 30-round magazine.
Make sure it's full.
If you live in a band state and don't have a 30-round magazine, I'm sure someone will let you borrow one. You're limited to 30 rounds for rifle. Pistol is unlimited. Are there any elites in the group?
No.
Nope.
Perfect. At the buzzer, the shooter will proceed to the shooting tree, and from any position, being these rungs, not the legs, engage the 3 rifles still at each berm at 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, with 1 hit each. It will move to a different position on the tree and repeat, and move to a 3rd position on the tree and repeat. If you're doing your math, that's 27 impacts. You have 30 rounds. Take your time, pick your misses. Don't screw yourself going to war with the target. You won't win on the stage.
What if you run out?
That's unfortunate. Every rifle target missed, skipped, or not engaged is 30 seconds.
30?
30.
Whoa.
Don't go to war with the target. Choose where you're going to let yourself miss.
Okay.
When you are finished with the rifle portion, whether you run out or are completely done, clear your rifle and proceed to the sled. If you leave your mag in an empty gun, I'm not going to count it against you if I see a bolt lock back and a follower, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Proceed to the sled. Y'all proceed down range with me. From pistol position 1, you'll engage these 2 white silhouettes of the 100-yard berm with 1 hit each. You will then move to pistol position 2 with the sled. We'll get to that. And repeat. Then you'll come to pistol position 3. And repeat. When you are done with pistol, you will unload, clear, and holster before facing back up range. You have a sled with you this whole time, right? The sled needs to make it around this box and back up with you. It doesn't matter if you stop at each point with the sled, if you leave it there, shoot your pistol and come back for it, or if you take it all the way around first and then shoot your pistol. The big part is you need to hit 3 pistol positions, and the sled makes it around the box.
Oh, man.
You ready, bro? Ready enough?
Yep.
Stand by.
Wow, dude, the last 20 rounds.
Copy, make them count.
Hit. Hit. Hit.
Just left on the neck. Where you at?
Hit. Hit. Hit.
No, I'm back on him.
Hit.
Just low left.
Hit. Hit.
Next position. Yeah, get coming, get low.
Hit. 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 Hit.
Nice hit.
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 Hit. Hit.
Hit. Good run. Last position. Get comfy. Make them count.
Hit. 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 Hit.
Ah, skip.
Skip.
Hit. Hit.
That's it. 2 left. Hit it, Austin. You got plenty of time, buddy.
Good shoot.
Get her out, get her ready.
Hit. Hit.
Clear it. Good. Come on. Come on, come on, come on.
All right.
All right. Last bit of the day. Just lean in and suck. Make it let it suck, man. Just keep stepping, bro. This is it. This is it. Come on. Come on, that's it. That's it. That's it. 10 steps. 10 more steps. Good, hit it.
Good job.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh no, come on.
Hit.
Yeah, fucking gangster.
Clear. Nice. Good run, dude. 248.79, 2 Mike. That's a solid run, Austin.
Fucking gangster.
Gotta finish it in style.
All right, so that was the stage footage. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. So I'll go ahead and talk about all the gear that I was using. So first things first, we'll start with the boring stuff. Pistol pouches, or this is this Blackhawk double mag holder. This is the same mag holder I've always been using. However, I will probably end up retiring this because one of the sponsors of this match was Dara Industries. And off the prize table, I ended up picking up one of their double mag holders. It's a pretty nice mag holder. Oops, upside down.
It's a pretty nice mag holder. It seems like it'll work fairly well for all the magazines that I have. So I'll probably end up using this mag holder for future events. So this might be the last time you see this. We'll find out. Next up is the pistol. So the pistol I rocked at this match was the Steyr. This is the L9 A2 MF, as you can see. No real reason why I chose this over any other ones. It's just what I chose. The light on there is the Streamlight TLR1 HL. The optic is the Holosun EPS. The slide on the Steyrs does not come from the factory optic cut, so I had to get this cut for the optic, and that was done by Chris Richardson with Fabricated Arms. So if you have a Steyr and you want an optic cut, reach out to him. The holster for the pistol was the Steyr TLR1 floodlight. One of the things about the holster is it does not have any actual, active retention or anything like that. So for the match, basically, it's just a friction fit, and I have to run this fairly tight in order for it to stay in there, especially during all the movement. So it's a fairly tight fit. You'll see I have these spacers in there that I 3D printed. That's just because I lost the rubber ones. So, yeah. So, before we get to the rifle, plate carrier is a Faro Concept Slickster, and then the plates I have in there are just some steel training plates. They're not ballistic rated. The plates themselves are from RX Plus plates. I won these at the Proving Grounds finale last year, so thanks to them. And then another thing to note about the carrier is I was not running separate rifle magazine pouches. I was just using the side pouches built into the carrier to carry rifle magazines. That worked fine. For these Proving Grounds matches, I only ever run, one rifle magazine in the gun and then one spare. Usually that spare is on my left side in one of these pouches, and that has worked fine for these matches. As far as pistol mags go, usually I have two on my belt and then one in a pocket or something, and that's usually the magazine I pull out first. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. Talk about the rifle. All right, so sling, cheap sling that came with my Keltec RDB as usual. So I think, what I'll probably end up doing, right? So I ran these pistol pouches for a long time because, it worked fine and I had no real reason to upgrade it. I'm probably going to do the same thing with the sling, right? I'm aware this sling is not the greatest sling in the world, but until I get I'm not going to pay for a new sling because this sling works fine. So if I win a sling at a match, sure, I'll upgrade, but, this has served me fine. So no real reason to upgrade it. Now for the rifle itself, this is my sort of Colt 607 inspired clone. It's not really a clone in any way, but oh well. But it is what it is. So we'll go front to back. Silencer is a Silencer Co. Omega 36M. I'm running the 30 caliber flash hider end cap. This ring that you see here is the rear mount for the Magpul suppressor cover. The mount, it's mounted to a 3-port ASR brake. The reason I'm using a brake on a barrel this short is mainly just to help extend the life of the suppressor itself. I don't shoot this gun unsuppressed around other people. I'm a little bit considerate, so that's why I'm using the brake and not like a flash hider or something like that. So let's see, the barrel, front sight block, gas tube, barrel nut, and whatever. That's all from a Palmetto State Armory 10.5-inch pistol upper. The handguards, the triangle handguards, these are carbine length triangle handguards from Fulton Armory. Let's see, I think the carrier is a PSA carrier. I don't remember what the bolt is. The upper receiver itself, this is a Fulton Armory slick side, A1 style upper. Got a Radian No, I think that's actually a Geisley charging handle. Forget which one. This is an original Colt 3X scope. The lower is an Aero Precision lower, Magpul grip. It's a TriggerTech Duty trigger. I'm running Duramags, which I'll talk about these in a little bit. The buffer is, I believe that's an Odinworks adjustable buffer. I don't remember what I have it set to, but it's fairly heavy to help slow down the cycling of this action because otherwise it is pretty overgassed. DPMS, you know, Car 15 style brace. And then I have a little loop of paracord through there to attach the sling to. So that's the rifle build. It's very fun. I enjoy it a lot. I was joking at the match saying basically if you see me run this rifle, I'm try-harding because that's, you know, that's kind of true. This is the rifle I usually do fairly well with, so if I have a match coming up that I want to place well at, this is probably the rifle I'm going to use. Now, a quick note on magazines. So, you will have seen in the match footage that I had some malfunctions. Those malfunctions, I believe, were sort of related to the magazines and sort of related to the ammo that I was using. Now, for stages 6, stage 1, or sorry, for stage 6, stage 1, and stage 2, so in order of the match footage, the first 3 stages of the day, I was using Monarch 55 grain 223, just because the stages themselves, you know, the distances, oh my gosh, the distances were not very far. The targets were relatively big, so I wasn't really concerned about the precision. So I was just using cheap 55 grain stuff. I didn't really care that much. And then for stages 4, 5, and for stages 3, 4, and 5, so the last 3 stages in the stage footage, I was using AAC 77 grain OTM. And basically, for whatever reason, it seems like when I'm using this ammo and these magazines and this gun, the rounds impact the barrel extension in a weird way. And sometimes, you know, as the carrier is trying to strip the round out, it just dead ends there and it doesn't actually feed up into the chamber. So on stage 6, I ended up borrowing a PMag from somebody because I noticed the PMags don't seem to have that problem. These seem to feed this ammo a little bit better. So I borrowed somebody's PMag. I shot stage 5, the last stage. I shot that stage using a PMag and it seemed to work fine. I'm not sure why I'm having issues with these rounds with these mags. It could just, you know, be luck of the draw type stuff. That's just the way it is. I'll have to do some investigating. I'd never had any issues with the 55 grain stuff. It might just be sort of the geometry of the knee plat there. But I'll have to do some investigating and figure out exactly what was going on. Okay, so before anyone starts commenting about checking the feed ramps, so you can see on the feed ramps on the bottom here where the barrel extension mates up with the the upper, there are some shiny spots. So it does look like rounds are hitting there and getting caught. That's probably what's happening and causing those malfunctions. And then I did load up a magazine and cycle some rounds through it, and this is one of the ones that I cycled through it. You can see that the tip of that bullet is not flat, it's been deformed a bit, and then obviously there's the nice big gouge in the side of the bullet. So it looks like the bullet is in fact impacting something on its way out of the magazine and into the chamber. Not exactly sure what would cause that scratch, but I know for sure that the barrel extension is probably what's causing that deformation of the tip. So I think that's it for gear overview. That's everything I was using for the match. Oh, actually, one more thing, pistol ammo. So you will have seen the Steyr malfunction a few times in this match. Now, if you've seen a lot of my match footage before, you will know that the Steyr has been pretty reliable for me. Now, the ammo I've been using for basically the entire time I've had my channel has been Monarch 115 grain brass case ammo. It's worked fine for me. I've never really had any problems. However, I have noticed an issue as of this past weekend. So I have a new gun that I'm not going to show yet because I'm planning on having a video with it soon. And I was at the range this past weekend shooting this new gun with some 147 grain subsonic stuff. I was shooting the gun suppressed, and then I switched to the Monarch 115 grain stuff just to kind of see the accuracy of the gun. And I noticed as I was shooting it, some of the Monarch ammo, which is 115 grain stuff, so it should all be supersonic, some of it was subsonic, which was very surprising because, you know, you shouldn't have subsonic 115 grain ammo. So what I'm thinking is that the Monarch stuff, some of the rounds loaded a little bit low, a little bit underpowered, and so the gun is not cycling all the way and causing malfunctions. So that is, I think, what's going on with the Steyr. I don't think it's a problem with the Steyr itself. I don't know. I'll clean it thoroughly, even though it's not super dirty at the moment. And then, you know, whenever I use it as at a match next, we'll see how it works. Okay, so now that, I believe, is all I have for the gear overview. So we'll go ahead, go back to the match footage, and we'll talk about each stage.
Are you ready?
Okay, so for this match, I started on stage 6, which I was pretty happy about. This stage was not a particularly challenging stage physically. I didn't find it that challenging in terms of the marksmanship either. So one of the interesting things about this particular stage was that, so this was a blind stage. So we did not get to see any of these targets beforehand. We didn't know where any of them were. We didn't know how big they were, or anything like that. So, you know, talking with your squad mates at the beginning of the stage, everyone kind of tried to decide, well, were you going to go to the right and do your pistol stuff first, or go to the left and do your rifle stuff first? Now, some people decided to go left and do the rifle first because they said, you know, well, I can shoot my pistol better winded than I can shoot my rifle winded, which is a fair argument. You know, if you can shoot your pistol well while you're, you know, breathing real hard, then, you know, might as well shoot your pistol after you've already shot your rifle. Some people said the opposite. I decided, you know, I can shoot reasonably well either way. It didn't really matter in terms of that. I decided to go for the pistol first because there's less backtracking if you went to pistol first and then went to rifle and then the stop box. That's what I decided to do. I was kind of disappointed when I got to where these trees were. I thought the rifle position was like just, you know, I don't know, like 5 or 10 yards into the trees. I was kind of disappointed when I got through there and I realized I had a lot more to go. So since we were the first squad, these rifle targets were nice and easy to see. The later squads in the day, that was not the case. So I thought this was a relatively easy stage, but you know, if these rifle targets were, you know, all gray and stuff because they've been shot up all day, this stage would have been a lot harder. And you know, that's kind of part of these competitions that, you know, you just kind of have to deal with the fact that the difficulty of the stages changes over the day, right? Because especially, for example, on the last stages I did, where, you know, you're running up these big hills. If that was my first stage of the day, you know, I probably would have done better on that stage because I wouldn't have been worn out from the fact that I've done all the other stages beforehand. And finish off the stage. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next stage.
173.98.
Alright, so this is stage 1. This was my second stage of the day. This was by far the worst stage in terms of my filming. So as you see, we had to start with basically all our gear off, and what really happened here was I thought I could put my hat and GoPro on the move as I'm moving up to the house, and so when I grabbed everything, I tried to put my hat on with the GoPro and it didn't work. So I was not running very fast because I didn't want my GoPro to fall off my head. And so I ended up just, wasting a bunch of time messing with the GoPro and stuff when I should have just, put it on at the table and then took off for a sprint. And then once I do finally get to the shooting position, man, my pistol shooting was not very good. And then I have this malfunction here with the Steyr, and what ends up happening is when I drop the magazine to clear the malfunction, it falls outside. It bounces off the windowsill and falls outside of the house.
I'll leave that mag.
And there's a time penalty for leaving behind magazines at this match. So I asked Dan, I was like, okay, does it really count if it falls outside? And he's like, oh, you gotta go get it. So I had to go get my magazine, which I don't remember what the time penalty was. If it was like a 5-second penalty, then it probably would have been fine for me to just leave it. But I didn't know what it was. If it had been a 30-second penalty, well, then obviously in that case it would have been worth it to go pick it up. So after I'm done shooting these pistol targets, I finish off, and I made a mistake on this particular stage because I only took 2 pistol magazines. So I finished that string of fire with 2 rounds left. So if I made it to the stop plate and missed, I'm kind of getting limited on the rounds there. So on these rifle targets, the paper targets, I tried to use my iron sights, just because I could. I ended up not even really using them and just pointing at the targets and shooting. And luckily, I managed to get all the hits I needed. I was not very confident that I did, but I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna let Jesus take the wheel, I guess. The long-range targets were not really a huge issue. This stage, I decided to use the 55 grain ammo, and it was no problem there. No, weird wind or anything like that blowing the bolts around. Now, once I do finally finish it, so we had the option, we could either take the ladder back down or take the stairs back down. And I decided to take the stairs because I thought it'd be faster, which I think it was. But as I'm going down, I'm not using the handrail, and I kind of get too much momentum, and so I had to jump off or fall off, and so I decided to jump off. As I jumped off, my GoPro fell off my head. So that's why the rest of this footage is terrible, because I had already wasted a bunch of time at the beginning of the stage trying to get the GoPro on. I just decided to sacrifice the footage and finish out the stage with terrible footage as opposed to a slow time. So that was stage 1. We'll go ahead and move on to stage 2. Alright, so now we're on stage 2, which was apparently my best stage of the day because I ended up taking first overall on this stage, which was surprising to me. I'm not really sure how that happened because there were some really good shooters at this match, especially in the elite division. And then especially given on this first target, I just whiff it 5 times. I decided initially to try and do all the targets standing. And then obviously after that first string of fire, I missed that first target a bunch. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and rest on the barrel. It's better to get the hits and, not waste time missing as opposed to taking, maybe an extra half second to get down on the barrel. And I think that was the smart move. Now this run over the pistol, it was about a 200-yard run. It wasn't quite flat. There's a little bit of a hill sort of in the middle. So you start on the rifle bay, you end in the pistol bay, and in the middle there's a hump. So it was uphill partway, downhill towards the pistol, and then, it switched when you went back, get to the pistol portion. I think this is actually probably where I made up a lot of time. I think I did pretty good on the pistol stuff for this stage, and if I had to guess, this is where I ended up placing first, was that I was able to get through the pistol stuff without a huge amount of trouble. Now, I didn't really get to watch anybody else do the pistol portion. And then, so I just got reminded. That reload, as I moved from the plate rack over to these set of 10 targets, what I did is I knew I was going to have to reload. So I went ahead and grabbed a magazine and held it in my left hand. So when I had to reload, I just dropped the mag and threw the new one in real fast. So that's why that reload was super quick. But yeah, so the way back was a lot slower than the way down there. So I'm gonna speed up through this just because I don't want to rewatch it. I'm sure you don't either. Make it back to the pistol stop plate and whiff it once, but get on the second shot. All right, and now on to stage 3. All right, so stage 3, this was one of my favorite stages of the day, partially because I did really well on it, but also I liked just the way this stage worked. So there were 5 rifle targets. If you missed, there was a run that you had to do. I think the total distance was about 50 yards. It wasn't a huge distance, but you had to do that run every time you missed. I believe the limit was twice per prop. So, if you're on the tank trap, you missed twice, you do 2 runs, you move to the next barricade, it's 2 runs there. I made sure that I hit these targets. I did not want to run. I figured it was much better to get your hits, take your time, because even if you take 10 seconds to shoot the rifle target, it's probably going to take you 20 seconds to do the run. I do have a malfunction here. It was the same malfunction that I have later, where it, the round dead-ended into the barrel extension. I had to grab that mag there. This last position with the wobble, the wobble, whatever you want to call it, the platform suspended by chains, it was not difficult really at all, I didn't think. I decided to just do it standing off the top, and it worked out fine. Now, one of the things with the rifle on this stage, I had to make sure to get the correct setting on the scope. So the Colt scope that I'm using, right, it's a BDC scope, but you have to dial the BDC. So I had to do some comparison between what the scope is calibrated for and what my gun actually shoots, in order to figure out what setting I needed to dial for the rifle targets. The pistol stuff on this stage went, again, pretty reasonably. I was a little bit underwhelmed with my performance on the spinner. I probably should have been able to get this a lot faster, but, I ended up getting it, so there's not really that much to complain about.
Oh, come on.
And now on to stage 4.
Thank you.
Alright, so now on to stage 4. This was probably my favorite stage of the match. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I liked the long-range precision aspect combined with the long-distance cardio stuff. I thought it was a good mix of both those two things. I'm glad that Chad did not make us do more rifle. Well, actually, I take that back. I think it would have been fun if Chad had made us do at least a little bit more rifle once we got back up to the hill, but you can't make the match too difficult, I guess. Now, aside from stage 1, which was sort of a mulligan, but this was my worst stage of the day for 2 main reasons. Reason 1 was the malfunctions that I end up having, and then reason 2 was I'm out of shape. So for this long range stuff, I'll go ahead and talk about it. So again, you can see the scope right now. I don't remember what I have it dialed to. It's kind of blurry, so I can't see. I believe I had it set to either the 300 or 400 yard setting, and that's actually to shoot. These targets are, I think, like 280 yards. They're not that far away, but I have to dial so much on the scope because I'm shooting 77 grain ammo on this stage out of a 10.5 inch barrel. So out of this gun, that ammo is only going right about 2,200 feet per second. So
it drops a lot, so the BDC adjustment on the scope doesn't really get me out that far. And then here's this malfunction. You can see tried switching to the other mag. I thought maybe it was the problem with that particular mag, and then have another malfunction of the exact same type. So these were the only two mags that I took on this stage, so I had to just keep trying to strip the round out and just keep going and hope that, you know, the problem fixes itself, which it kind of does. I don't think I have any more I didn't have any more malfunctions to finish off that little string of fire there, but I would be curious if I would have more malfunctions if I had to shoot like another string from a different prop. After I had those malfunctions there, on the next stage I asked to borrow somebody else's mag because I didn't trust those mags to feed reliably. Pistol stuff goes well, no real complaints there. I'll speed up through all this running stuff. Alright, and then on these last set of pistol targets, as I'm going through, I have to reload, and I decide for some reason that I want to try and shoot this one-handed. I don't know why I decided to do that. I just did, and it was definitely a mistake. I missed a lot, cost a bunch of time. There was a malfunction. That malfunction I think was probably a limp wrist, but you know, one of these days I'll stop doing that and take things seriously, but for now I'm here to have fun. Grab a flag and head back up the hill. This was a big hill. It was a long way to go, especially after all the stages I've already done. So I'm 100% sure that this also cost me a few places on this stage just because I was beat. I did not move up this hill very fast. So I'm going to fast forward it so you don't have to watch me again. But, you know, I did survive. I did make it back up to the top, and then I even managed to hit the stop plate on the first shot. Not too shabby. So we'll move on to the next stage. Alright, now for the last stage for me, which is stage 5. This was a really cool stage. This is the first time I've ever done one of these stages at the Proving Grounds where they had implemented a round count limitation. So for this stage, you were only allowed one 30-round magazine for the stage, and they made us shoot 27 targets. So that was the minimum number of shots you needed, and they only let you have 30. So it was a pretty thin margin on whether or not you were going to clean this stage. And out of all 70 competitors that competed this day, only one person managed to make it through the rifle section without missing at least one target. There were 2 people that only missed one target. So obviously after that, there was a bunch of people that missed a few targets. I ended up missing 3 targets. So one of the mistakes I made right there was I didn't have a good game plan about which shooting positions I was going to go to, so I ended up kind of basically trying them all before I finally picked one. So I guess one thing to talk about with the rifle, again, because I have to deal with this BDC scope, so if you've never looked through one of these Colt scopes, it's just a duplex reticle. There's no graduations in it, there's no holdovers, there's nothing. It's just a crosshair. So what I ended up having to do is use Steyr L9 and compare. Right, so these scopes are calibrated for 55 grain M193 from a 20-inch barrel. So basically what I did before the match was load in a profile into Steyr L9 that shows, you know, what the drop for that bullet type would be at 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500 yards based on the Colt manual, right? Because the manual for this scope tells you to zero at 100 yards, and tells you to zero at 100 yards, and then so the first hold is 100/200, then it's
the dial settings are 3, 4, and 5. So basically what I did was see what the drop amounts in MOA are for that bullet type at 300, 400, 500 yards. Then I created a profile that copies what this rifle's performance is. So 77 grain OTM bullet going 2200 feet per second. And so for every stage, or for at least stage 3, 4, and 5, I would measure the target distance with my laser rangefinders, figure out what the drop will be for my cartridge, and then compare to see what the best setting needs to be for the scope. And for this stage, I settled on setting 4, the 400 yard setting, and the way that my holds needed to be is I held at the bottom of the target for the 100 and 200 yard targets, and then the top of the target for the 300 yard targets, and that worked pretty well. So once I get down to the pistol stuff, I decide to take the sled all the way down and around the last position, so that way when I'm done I can just pick up the sled and take off. I think one of the things I was supposed to do was put the gun back in the holster between positions. However, Dev never said anything, so I guess it was okay. Grab the sled and work our way back up the hill. The sled was very heavy, especially for being the last stage of the day. And this last 100 yards, 90, whatever, the last 80 yards back was probably just as difficult as the hill on the previous stage. It was not fun. And as you can see, of course, you know, I'm not moving very fast with this sled. You know, I definitely need to do more conditioning stuff. Finally get the sled back, pull out my pistol, and decide to finish off the stage in the only way that's appropriate, one hand, gangster style. So, that finishes out the match. Alright, so that was the match. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how I did. You know, 6th place overall, and then 2nd in men's intermediate. Especially given this setup with the stages that we had this day, I was pretty happy with. There were definitely some things I could have improved on. Stage 1 for me was kind of a cluster and cost me a lot. And then overall, I felt like I was pretty lackluster in terms of my physical performance. I definitely spent a lot of time huffing and puffing and not really moving very quickly. So definitely going forward, I need to spend more time training for these matches because, you know, I definitely feel like I should have performed a bit better on some of those stages, especially like stage 4 and stage 5 with running up the hill on stage 4 and running up with the sled on stage 5. I feel like I should have done those a lot faster than I did. And then, of course, I had some rifle malfunctions and a few pistol malfunctions that cost me a lot of time. So, I don't know. Maybe it's time to switch to a different rifle. Maybe it's time to pay a little bit more attention to pistol. Who knows? But regardless, you know, 6th place overall and 2nd in men's intermediate is not too shabby. So, I think that's all I've got for this match. Go ahead and wrap it up. If you got any questions, leave them below, and then I'll see you on the next video.